In last week's episode, we talked about the statement, everything is working out for you. I shared with you a significant fact that shows that this statement is true, which is that your thoughts create your reality. But this fact is just one of three for me. I have two more areas of evidence that show how this statement is already your reality, even if you don't realize it yet. So today I'm going to share with you the second proof that everything is truly working out for you. And I just wanted to mention that after recording last week's podcast episode, I was so inspired that I created one of my subliminals to help you to embody this new knowledge. This subliminal is designed to gently reprogram your mind, helping you release fear, self-doubt, and limitations, so you can embrace the incredible truth. Everything is working out for you, even if you can't see it yet. You can find the subliminal for free on my YouTube channel. But let's go back to the topic of this episode. The second area in your life where everything is working perfectly out for you. And this time, it's not your thoughts, but your feelings, your triggered feelings. Let me give you a few examples of what I mean when I say triggered feelings. We're going to keep referring back to those examples as well when I share with you how your triggered emotions are a sign for you. The first example of a triggered emotion could be that the idea of speaking in front of other people triggers you to feel scared that you are going to say something stupid or embarrassing. Now, just the thought even of you potentially needing to speak up in a meeting will make you feel anxious for hours or even days before the event. Another example could be that one of your colleagues makes you angry. It doesn't even matter what they say, you just have this anger that is being triggered inside of you. Every time you see the person in a meeting or just in the office, your body just starts to get warm and heat rushes to your face. The feeling of anger is triggered inside of you just by saying their name. And one of my past examples, my personal example, is that every time I looked in a mirror or saw myself reflected in a window, I would feel guilt and shame about my body. Just the image of myself would trigger these emotions inside of me, and then, of course, the negative self-talk would start in my mind. Now, looking at these examples, you can probably now think of your own examples of where you get triggered to have certain feelings. And reflecting on your own triggers of emotions, you might be wondering, Linda, how is this proof that everything is working out for you or me? It feels like it's the opposite. All of this triggering of negative emotions in your life makes you feel like nothing is working out for you, right? How can you keep being triggered to feeling anxious, angry, or ashamed, and at the same time think positively about the flow of life? Well, that's of course the answer you will receive today. The thing is that when you get triggered to have certain emotions, nothing bad is actually happening to you. That is truly the first thing that you want to realize. You think that something bad outside of you is happening to you, out of your control. And because you don't like what is happening, it triggers negative emotions like feeling panicky because you have to speak up in a meeting, or having lunch with that annoying colleague, or try on clothes in front of a mirror and feeling frustrated and down. Based on our earlier examples, these outside events seem the reason why you feel anxious, angry, or ashamed. But that's not the case. All that is happening in these situations is that something inside of you gets triggered by something neutral happening outside of you. Just look at it from another person's perspective. Another person would not feel anxious because they get asked a question in front of their team. Another person has no reason to get angry just because that one colleague asked them to go for a coffee. And another person does not feel guilt or shame when they get ready in the morning and check their outfit in the mirror. The situations, people, and events are not the reason that you get triggered to feel like that. The reason comes from inside of you. And to understand that on a deeper level, let me share with you what a trigger is and why this is the universe working in your favor. You understand now that what happens when you get triggered and how you feel, but why is it happening? What is it for? The emotion that gets triggered in these neutral situations is an emotion you have felt before. Either many times or once before so strongly that it's programmed in your subconscious mind. It can be that something traumatic happened to you in your past and the emotion is attached to that memory. Or the caregivers in your life express certain emotions around you and you copied their emotional behavior so many times that it's now an automated program. It's like a pattern that got imprinted in your mind and it gets brought back up at certain times with certain people in certain situations. For example, in the case of our examples earlier, the person who feels scared speaking in front of others might have had a bad situation happen to them when they were, let's say, at school. And that one event created such a strong reaction that this information is now ingrained in their subconscious mind. And every time there is a possibility to have a similar situation happening again, they immediately feel the same emotion as they did 30 years ago. In the case of the person hating their colleague, it might have come from a situation they only observed when they were young. Let's say their mother was in constant fights and disagreements with her sister, and this person observed a lot of these awful situations. The colleague at work might just look like the sister of the mother, so the aunt, or have the same tone of voice, which automatically triggers the memory of hate and anger that they observed in their mother. And that's what happens when you get triggered. And that's the reason why one person can get triggered by a situation and others in the same situation don't. Because it all has to do with what is stored in your subconscious mind and what memories you have collected throughout your whole life. Now let me share with you finally why this is a good thing. Why triggers of emotions are a sign of the universe working in your favor. A trigger is actually a message from your subconscious mind to let go of the exact emotion that just got triggered. Sounds a bit crazy? I know, but I have been successfully letting go of so many negative emotional reactions that I know it works. Your subconscious mind will scan your environment and use people, situations, places, events to bring up stored emotions, stuck emotions that you are finally ready to let go of. The thing is that your mind doesn't actually want all of that junk from the past inside of you. It takes these opportunities to point out that you are still holding on to fear, to anger, or to shame. But the sad thing is that we just don't know that that's what's happening. It's not like we learned this at school, but once you know, so as of now, you will look differently at yourself and at these situations when you get triggered. So, why everything is working out for you when you get emotionally triggered is because it's your chance to let go of old memories and stuck emotions to free yourself. You cannot even imagine how much easier and peaceful life is when you get less and less and less triggered. It's pure heaven. Once you have let go of your first emotional reactions and don't get triggered anymore in situations you always got triggered before, you will agree with me. The freedom and peace from it are so beautiful and divine. And if you want to dive even deeper into this topic and learn my emotional release technique, you can join me today inside of Energy Academy. I will teach you the 4 steps, which are to notice, to allow and accept, to express and experience, and to let go. Once you know what you're doing and why you're doing it, you will get better and better and better at releasing these stuck emotional patterns from your life. No more triggers that just drop your mood from one minute to the other. I will add the link to the video description for further information and how to sign up in an instance. But I have as well a free resource for you, which is the emotional release meditation on my YouTube channel. In this meditation, I guide you through my personal release process. Once you find yourself triggered by an emotional pattern, I will make sure to add the link to that free meditation in the video description too. Thank you so much for joining me today and exploring how everything is truly working out for you, even in those challenging moments of emotional triggers. Remember, each trigger is a chance to let go, to grow, and step closer to a life of peace and freedom. You have all the tools and support you need to transform these emotions and elevate your journey. Be kind to yourself, embrace the process, and keep trusting that life is unfolding in your favor. Until next time, stay inspired, stay open, and remember, you are exactly where you're meant to be.